So if in the last lecture you remember that we have connected the HR database, clear? That is already built-in account, the master account. We have connected that with our Oracle SQL developer. So that is already connected. Now it is asking for a password. So if you remember, during installation we provide the password. Yeah, the password is HR and the account HR, we unlock that. Now inside that HR account we have some already available tables, already available data. So inside the tables we have countries table, departments table, employees table, job history, jobs, location and regions. So we will be working throughout all these tables in this program. So then we discussed about the different things, the different parts of this environment. Time to time I will execute the Curie in both of them, in the plus environment as well and in the developer environment as well. So for opening the SQL plus environment, we discussed that you need to select the HR, and from the tools you need to open SQL plus environment. Clear? So it is asking for your password, HR. Clear? Now first of all I'm going to tell you about a reserve word or a control or a keyword inside our this environment that is known as spool. That is a command, a spool command. What is spool command? So spool, that will create a file, in some directory which will keep all your queries which you will run throughout this today's lecture. Clear? So that will be created in any of a drive, and it will keep all the record which you will create today, which all the queries which you will execute, all the result which will be displayed in this SQL plus environment. So that is a spool command. So I am creating it in D drive, and the name of the and the name of the file is, suppose today the date is 17/4/2017.txt. Clear? So I execute this command. So if you execute all of the queries, so that will be saved in that file. Suppose I am writing select static all the data. I will explain the query as well to you. From employees is one table inside my database. Semicolon is must in this environment. In developer environment, in SQL developer graphical environment, if you put a semicolon or not, it will still work. But in this environment, semicolon is must. So when you execute, you will see that all the things are executed. So before that, for making it arrange it, we have two more commands. Set line to 200 and set page size to 200, and by pressing the up arrow I can select the query. So now it is in arrange form. Clear? So these are two more commands as well. So now one file is created in the D drive. I need to check whether the file is created or not. So you can see here this file, this text file is created. If you open it in the D drive, a text file is created. So later on we will check all the record in that text file. Clear? So one file is created in my D drive, that is with the name of today's date. I will search the file, yeah, that one. So that file is created. So I will show you in the end of the lecture that all the data will be stored in that file. All the queries which we will execute today, they will be stored there in that file in the form of a text. So spool is one command. With the help of that command, we are working, we are storing, we are creating a file, and we are saving all of the queries which you will execute in this SQL plus environment. They all will be saved in that file, in that text file .txt. Clear? Okay, so one more thing. Is this clear?
Yes.
Spool command is clear. The next command is the cat command, the catalog command. Clear? That is known as the catalog. What is catalog? Catalog contains all of the information about something. If you go somewhere, you ask for a catalog. Show me the catalog. Clear? So in the catalog, they have all the structure. So I want to see all of the structure of this HR table. Clear? So I'm writing here in SQL Curie, select static from the command cat. Is it visible?
Yes.
And semicolon. So with the help of cat command, when you press enter, you will see select all the fields, all the table names, all the table type from cat, from catalog. If you go to the graphical user interface environment, so you will see here how many tables we have. The tables: countries, departments, employees, job history, jobs, locations, regions. It is showing you all the catalog, all the structure of the HR database. So you can see here that countries is a table, department is a table, employees is a table, jobs history, location, and regions. So we have 3 sequence as well, and we have 3 views as well. So they are also a part of here. So in the views, you can see here, from the views, we have one view, employee detail view. Later on, we will discuss about what actually views are. So we in the HR database, we have one view, name is employee details view. Clear? And we have 3 sequence. So under the sequence folder, we have department sequence, we have employee sequence, and we have location sequence. Clear? So in the SQL Plus environment, you can see that you have 3 sequence as well: department sequence, the employee sequence, and the location sequence. Clear? So this is the command. I'm executing it once again for you. So select all from cat command, catalog, it means catalog, semicolon, and enter. So it will show you all the things which is inside your current database. Clear? With the current database you are connected, so it will show you all the tables which exist in that specific database in which you are working. So that is the cat command. Now I'm going to show you one more command which is used to clear that black screen. If you are working in that screen, which is used to clear that black screen, and that is known as the clear screen. Might be you have used that function as well, but here you need to write as complete. So I'm writing here clear screen. Clear? So each and everything is clear. Clear? So that clear screen is used to clear that all the previous execution of the queries. Clear? Now I will tell you one more thing, that at this stage we cannot select any specific thing. When I'm going to show you the queries from the slide, if you can see from the slide that select department ID, location ID, and from department. So I don't know about any of the column name. I don't know about any of the column name. I don't know anything. So for that reason, what should we do? We need to describe the structure of that specific table. Clear? So for describing the structure of that specific table, we use one more command, describe. Clear? So it will give me all the column names. So on the basis of that column name, I can do some projection. Clear? What is some projection? If you can see in the slide, so this is your projection. If you are going to select that pink area in that projection, if you want to select that specific column and you don't want to select that second one and you want to select that third one, the specific projection, if you want to select some specific columns from all the table. Clear? But in that black environment, when I use the clear screen command, each and everything was clear. How should I know that which column name I need to select? If you don't know the name, you cannot apply the projection. Clear? Where you should be at the on select statement. How the select statement work? Select means to select anything. If I give you any option, select these 2 books. What does mean by select? Choose these 2 books. Clear? You have an option to select, to choose these 2 books. So now I have tables in my database, in my HR database. So I am going to select some of the columns. Might be I am selecting all that record in the table. Clear? So I am going to select, just select, not update, not save, not delete. We are just working on the select. So by the end of this lecture, you will be able to list the capabilities, advantages, working, power of SQL select statement. By the end of the lecture, you will know the power of select statement. Structure query language, your SQL statement, that is select. Select is one statement of your structure query language, and by the end of the lecture, you will know the power of that. Execute a basic select statement, and the second thing, by the end of the lecture, you will be able to execute some basic statements of SQL. Now let's come to the projection. With the help of select statement, you can apply some projection. If you see here in the projection, with the help of select statement, you can select some specific columns. If I want to see only this column and only this column, the pink area which is visible to you. If I only want to see this area, so that is known as the projection. Clear? So with the help of select statement, we will do projection. If you don't want to see all of the table, I just want to see two columns, how it could be done with the help of projection. Clear? Selection. We will work on the selection as well, that how to select some specific rows, not columns. Select some specific rows, complete rows. When we are going to discuss about the operators, clear? So on those operators, the in operator, the or operator, the and operator, in those operators, we will work some selection, on selection. And inshallah, in the later on lecture, we will work on the joins, inner join, outer join, natural join. Clear? How two tables will be joined and how they will be displayed. Clear? So today we will work on the projection. Any question? So if you see in the slide, so this is a general syntax for writing a select query. If you can see here, select static. I will show you the word distinct in the end. What is the function of the word distinct? The keyword distinct. So this is a general expression. How you will write a query. Just like your algorithm. Algorithm is a general language. You can write an algorithm and later on the developer, they can change it into a specific language program. So same, this is a general syntax. Select static. You can select something all or distinct. You can select something specific. You can select some column name. You can write some expression for calculation. You can write some column alias. We will discuss what are the column alias from any table. Clear? So if you can see here that you can select all of the record. You can select some distinct, some unique thing. We will work in the word distinct as well. You can select some specific 2 or 3, 4 column names. You can write an expression as well. You can write the column alias as well. What are the column alias? Column alias are the duplicate names of reports. We will work in the column alias as well. From the name of the table, any table. Clear? So select, identify the columns to be displayed. What does it mean by select? If I'm going to select 3 of the students in this class, I'm selecting that 1, 2, 3. Clear? So what I have done? I select 3 students from lab 3. Is it clear? Yes. So selecting what you are selecting and from where you are selecting. There are 2 parts in the query. One is the select, what you are selecting, from where you are selecting. Because there are a lot of tables in the database. So select how many columns, what expression, distinct, all the data, what you are selecting. That should be written in front of the select statement. And from where you are selecting. If there are 10 tables, so from which table? You need to define the name of the table as well. So there are 2 parts. The first one is the select, identify the columns to be displayed. You are going to select the column names. What columns you are going to display on your screen, on your computer screen. And from identify that the table containing those columns, in which table those columns exist. You need to define the name of that table as well. Clear? So the first is select all the record from department. Clear? So this static inside that red box, you can see that select all. Static is a universal operator. It means that select all of the data, whatever is inside that table. Later on, I'm going to select some specific columns, but select all the record. Just don't hide any of a column, just don't hide any single record, just display whatever is inside the department table. So I'm going to write that in SQL Plus, that select static, it means all the record from the table departments, semicolon. So it will show you 200 and
20.
no. Okay. So it is showing you all the records in this table. So you can see that department table contains these records. Clear? So if you see here, so these are the department IDs, department number 10, 20, 30, 40, and there are almost 50 to 60 records. And they are showing you all the department name, administration, marketing, purchasing, shipping, IT, sales relation, whatever. Clear? So I just simply select all of the record from department. Now this time I'm going to select all of the record from any other table. So if you can see here in the developer environment, we have the department table. Clear? So I'm going to execute the query in that section as well. So you can see here, let me magnify it if it is not visible. So you can see here that this is the data of all the department table. This is all the data of department table which is displayed in SQL Plus environment. Now it contains how many columns? It contains department ID, department name, manager ID and location ID. So it contains 4 of the columns. I will use one more command as well to see the structure of specific table as well. I use the catalog to display all the structure of the database. Then I will use a statement to see all the record then I will write a statement to just see the structure of one specific table. Clear? So now you can execute your query here as well. Let me show you how. The same query I'm writing here. Select all the record from the table departments. Clear? Executed. You will see all the records are displayed here. Clear? Executed. It is executed. So in this development environment, semicolon is optional. But when you are working in that black environment, that SQL Plus environment, semicolon is compulsory. Clear? Let me show you. I'm executing one more table. The name of this employees. I'm executing select all the record from the table employees. Execute. So it will show you all the employee record. But if you write in the SQL developer environment that select all the record from employees, so it is not working. Why it is not working? Semicolon is missing. So in this environment, semicolon is compulsory, it is must. But in that developing environment, that is optional. Clear? So keep that points in your mind. Now let's come to the another thing. Now look at this slide. If you can see the slide, look at that second slide. Select department ID, location ID from department. If you can see here, these two are the column names. If you can see in the development environment, inside your department, when you see the data, we have 4 columns. We have 4 columns. Department ID, department name, manager ID and location ID. These all are 4 columns which contain some data of departments. Now, according to the slide, I don't want to display the manager ID and the department name. I just want to see the location ID and department ID. So on the basis of that, now this time I'm going to define just the specific name of the columns from the department table. I'm not going to use static. If I write a static, select static from department, so it will display all of the data. But I just want to see only 2 columns, as you can see in the picture as well, department ID and location ID. Now there is one problem. What I will show you. In the development environment, there is no problem, because you can see from here as well. But first of all, I will show you the problem, and I will show you the solution of that problem as well. If you are using that black environment, and I told you about one function, one command, clear screen, each and everything is clear if you are working in that black environment. Now, how should you know that how many tables, how many columns are there in that my HR database? So what you are going to do? First of all, suppose I'm giving you a detailed view. Select all from cat. Show me the catalog. So we have these tables. Department sequence, employees. Now I want to display the record from department. I was in the black environment, I used clear screen command, each and everything was gone. Clear? I want to see the columns of only the department table. So for that I will use one more function, that is describe. Clear? That is one more function. Describe what? The table name, departments. So you can see here it is describing all the 4 columns of our table department. Department ID, department name, manager ID and location ID. Now I just want to select 2 things, the department ID and the location ID. I don't want to display the department name and manager ID. So what should I write? Select. Now this time not static. If you write static, it will display all of the columns. This time I'm writing just the department underscore ID. E is missing here. Department underscore ID, comma. The second is location underscore ID. From which table? From departments. Clear? Semicolon. So you will see here that this time only the department ID and location ID is displayed. Clear? So that is the projection. Did you got some idea about the projection?
Yes.
Now I'm describing one more table. First of all, let me execute this for in the development environment. Now I'm writing one more query. Select. Let me zoom it. Select department ID, comma, location ID from which table? Departments. Clear? Now execute it. So you will see here, wait, keep your cursor here. So now you can see here that I wrote a query. In the SQL developer environment, in a graphical user face environment. Select department ID, select location ID from department table. Now I am selecting all the data. Select all the record from departments. Execute. Now you will see that manager ID and department name is also displayed. And in the first query, I just perform the projection. Projection means show me some specific area. Not all of that. I'm not interested in all of the records, in all of the columns. Just show me some specific columns for all of the table. Clear? So you can see here I wrote 2 queries. So if you want to execute the first one, so keep your blinking cursor on the first one and press that. So the first query will be executed. If you want to execute the second one, so keep your blinking cursor in that developer environment on the second one and execute. So the second will be executed and so on. Clear? Now, if I want to, in the SQL Plus environment, I want to apply the projection. I'm using clear screen, the function clear screen. Now each and everything is clear. Now I know there is a table with the name of employees, and from the employees I want to apply some projection. I want to select some specific columns. But in that black screen you can see that there is nothing. How could I know that what will be the name of the columns? Without knowing the name of the columns, I cannot apply projection. I cannot select the columns. So what is the command? Describe. Describe the table employees and semicolon. When you enter, so employee is the table which contain employee ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date, job ID, commission, manager ID and department, all these things. Clear? Now I just want to select just the first name, comma, and the job ID. Select the job ID, comma, and just show me the department ID. From which table?
Department.
From employees. So just 3 columns are displayed. This is known as your projection. If you can see here, just 3 columns are displayed. One is showing the first name, the job ID, and the department ID. Clear? And if you write a full query, if you write a select static from employees, so it will display all of the columns. If you can see here, so it is displaying the first name, ID, last name, email, phone number, each and everything. Clear? So with the help of a static, we can select all of the things inside that table. With the help of projection, we can project some specific columns. Is it clear?
Yes.
Now we have one more command. I'm going to show you one more command and then we will come to the queries. Now if suppose in this black environment, which is known as your SQL plus environment, so if suppose I write the query wrong, I write the spellings wrong, select static from departments, unknown command. We don't know what is select. Clear? We don't know what is select. So how to correct your query? So there are 2 methods. I will show you the first one. If you press the up arrow, so you will get the last query which you typed in that black environment. So the first is that you can go back and make it correct. Clear? And then it will execute. Now the second method is a command, edit command. You are going to edit the query. How to edit the query? The previously query. So you are going to write ed, edit. So a file will open. Clear? So in that file, this is your query. Clear? So you can select it here. Sometimes it not work properly. Clear? So for making it work properly, I will show you one directory where your SQL is installed. The SQL developer is installed. It is installed in C drive. Go to the app, this folder. From here, go to the product, that one. Go find the folder bin. This one. From the bin, you will find SQL plus exe. You will find the SQL plus exe, this one. Copy this one and create a folder here for yourself, or inside that SQL plus, and paste it here. Clear? So always open the SQL plus from here. So from here it works fine. Clear? The HR password is HR. Now if I am writing the wrong query, first of all I am writing the select one, static from employees, making a little bit arrangement, set line to 200, set page size to 200, and now I will execute the query. So it is little bit fine. Make some adjustment from here, which we discussed in the last as well, that make some changes here so it will be running fine. Apply those changes which we already performed in the previous lecture as well. So now I'm just going to show you, first of all, make the font size a little bit greater. So I'm using that one. Okay, change the writing as well. Console, Lucida console, that is okay. Okay, so you can change that as well according to yourself, but I'm just going to show you about the working of here. So if I type the wrong query, select, so there is no query exist, so I will write ed, edit command, semicolon and enter, so that will open. So accurate from here and save it. When you save it, then press the hash symbol, the line symbol, and then the right query will be executed. Is it clear? So there are two methods to write your query. The first one is that go to the file. If suppose you write a wrong query, select static from employees. So that is a wrong query. The first one is to click edit command. So a file will be open. Sometimes it is showing you the right query. So save it. If it is wrong, so correct it. If it is right, so save it. If you save it, then press that symbol and OK. So right query will be executed. Is it clear? Yes. Now there is one more option. If you are using enter command number, all the commands which you have typed in this environment, this black environment, so they have some numbers, and you can see those numbers. If suppose take me to the command number 3, so command number 3 is page size. Clear? So when you are pressing the up arrow, so it is showing you all the commands from the start till the end. So you have type a lot of commands. Clear? So if you want to directly visit to some of the command and you don't want to type it, so the another option is press the F9, so enter command number in that environment. If suppose you are typing command number 5, so it will take you to the command number 5. If you want to get to command number 8, so it will take you to the command number 8. Clear? So that is one more option. So
F9?
Yeah, F9. Let's come to the next slide. That if you can see here, that writing SQL statement, the first point, SQL statements are not case sensitive. Clear? We are using the Oracle environment, but we are using the standard language, structure query language. So it's SQL, structure query language statements, they are not case sensitive. It means if you have saw there, I was writing the name of the table, it was in uppercase letters, I was typing it in small case letters. Clear? I was writing it in small alphabets, it was giving me the result. So it means that it is not case sensitive. The second is SQL statement can be entered on one or more lines. Clear? The standard format. What is the standard format? Let me show you in the developer environment. What is the standard format? When you click here, and you will select format SQL, so it will bring all the queries in a proper format. Clear? This is one query and this is second. Select is on one line and from is on second line. Clear? So this is a proper format. So we are just pointing towards that second point. SQL statements can be entered on one or more lines. We were writing just that on single line, but you can write it on 2 lines. Clear? And you need to write it on 2 lines. That is the recommended task. Now the second thing, the third point, keywords cannot be abbreviated or split across line. You cannot write SEL and the rest of the word on the second line. You cannot write the word from, FR and OM on the another line. No, they are the keywords. Clear? So I cannot write like that. Let me show you. I cannot write that SEL ECT. That's wrong. Clear? I need to write the complete word. So keywords cannot be abbreviated. Abbreviated means you cannot write SLT, select, SLCT. No, you cannot write FRM, from. So keywords need to be written as they are. The fourth point, clauses are usually placed on separate line. If you can see here, so we have two clauses. One is the select clause, and the second is, this is the select clause, and this is the from clause. So select clause is placed on one line, and from is placed on second line. So that is pointing towards the point number 4. Clauses are usually placed on separate lines. That is a standard format. Intents are used to enhance readability. Intents, definitely space writing on the another line when you are spacing among your Curie, among different column names, so that will increase the readability. We are just writing the simple Curie. If you are writing a Curie very large, there are joins and there are a lot of things. So if you didn't put intent, if you are writing all the Curie on one line, so it will be very difficult. If you are breaking the Curie and you are writing it on separate line, separate clause on each and every separate line, so that will increase the readability, enhance the readability. Clear? In SQL Developer, SQL statements can optionally be terminated by semicolon, the same point which I explained. What is the developer environment? This one is the developer environment. In this environment, semicolon is optional. If you write, it will execute. If you don't write, it will execute. But the second thing, SQL semicolons are required when you execute multiple SQL statements. Clear? When you are going to execute multiple statements, then semicolon is required. And also in SQL Plus, that is compulsory. If you don't write semicolon there, it will give you error. Clear? SQL Developer and SQL Plus. What is the displaying? What is the difference between displaying in both of the environments? In SQL Developer environment, all the result, default heading alignment, they are left aligned. Default heading display uppercase. If you see here in that, so you will find that they are aligned left and all the headings, they are uppercase. Department name, manager ID, location ID, they are in uppercase. Now what is the case in SQL Plus environment? Character and date column headings are left aligned. Number column headings are right aligned. They are all shifted towards right side. And default heading display uppercase. So you can see here in that environment as well, they are left aligned. They are left aligned. Wait, let me reduce the size. So you can see here that they are in the uppercase as well. Clear? The numbers, number column headings are right aligned. If you see the numbers, they are right aligned. They are all on the right side. Clear? Characters, they are on the left side. Headings, they are in uppercase. Clear? So that is how your data is displayed inside in the both environment, in the developer environment and in the Plus environment. Now the arithmetic expressions. You can use the arithmetic expressions on your queries on the data which is already stored in your tables in the form of rows and columns. So how many operators we have in arithmetic operators? 4 basically. Plus, minus, multiply, divide. Clear? So we can apply the addition function, we can apply the subtraction, we can apply the multiplication, and we can apply the division. I will show you a query and your concept will clear. Select last name, comma, select the salary, comma, salary plus 300. Suppose you are working in any of the organization, and the boss he gave you 300 increment or 300 bonus this month. Clear? So he want to find out that what should be the update salary of those guys to all of the record. So I'm going to write it first of all in the development environment. So in the development environment, if you see here, let me zoom it for you guys. So I'm removing all of the Curies. So there is an option. You can see the rubber. It is a rubber which will erase all the Curies. You click it, so the area will become clear. Now I'm going to write the Curie. This time I'm going to apply the arithmetic operation. So select last name. The column name was last name and salary, comma salary plus 300. From which table? From employees. Clear? Execute it. You will see here that these are the employees. Their last name is that one. Their salary is $2,600 Afghani, whatever. And when the boss gave the increment, so now the Colonel O'Connell, his salary was $2,600. After the increment, his salary will become $2,900. Grant, his salary was $29. Wallen, his salary was $4,400. After the increment, his salary was $4,700. Clear? So this is a report. There is no column exist in the database, salary plus 300. That is a report. That is a dummy report. If you can go back to your database, you will not find a column salary plus 300. I just generate that report. I just apply a formula. Clear? So I just apply a formula here. So you can calculate annual salary as well. If suppose I want to calculate the annual salary, that how much salary these guys are getting annually. You know about annual salary? Your annual salary, your salary throughout the year. What was your salary throughout the year? So what should be the formula? Salary multiplied by 12. Now execute it. So you will see here 31,200, 52,800, 1,56,000, 72,000, and so on. So this is your annual salary. So there is no column in your database for annual salary. I am generating those things. So you can apply another operators as well. I multiplied. This time I multiplied. I used the multiply operator. Before I used the plus operator to add 300. Now if suppose they want to deduct this month 100 from all of their salaries, so minus 26, 2500, 44, 4300, 13,000, 1200, and 900. So this is the subtraction. You can apply the division as well for calculating the percentage. Clear? So for finding the division, you can use this one and you can divide that one. Clear? So you can apply the arithmetic operations on your Curie. Clear? Yeah. Discuss about the precedence of operators. You know about the precedence, the priority. Which operators should be executed first? Now I'm going to write two queries and you will know about the precedence of operators. First of all, I'm going to create the plan is the organization plan. What is the organization plan? The organization plan is to calculate the annual salary. Select last name, comma, salary, and calculate the annual salary and give them $100. Clear? So I am writing here salary or 12 multiply by salary. Just calculate the annual salary and give them only $100. My aim is that, but I will see what will be the result. Plus
100.
It's okay, 300. I'm writing here 300 from employees. When you execute it, you will see the result is this 31,500. Clear? Now I'm going to write another query, and this time I will give the precedence to the operator, and you will see the result will be totally changed. So you need to keep all these things in your mind before doing the calculation. Select last name, comma, salary, comma. This time 12 multiply by salary plus 300, but that should be inside parenthesis. Now we will see what the result would be. Employees, and when you execute it, it will be same. Clear? And if you put the parenthesis here, let me show you. If you put the parenthesis here and you execute it, now look at the result, 34,800. Clear? If you put it here, 31,500. What is actually happened? First, the salary is 2,600, so 300 is added. What will be the result? 2,900. And then 2,900 is multiplied with 12. But the idea of the boss was only to give 300. Not 300 multiplied by 12
months.
Not 300 every month. His idea was to just give them 300 with the annual salary. So that parenthesis will change the result totally. If you see in the slide, so 12 multiplied by salary plus 100, so it will give you that result. When you put the parenthesis, so first of all 100 will be added, and then the new calculated added result will be multiplied with the 12. So result will be totally different. So that is known as the precedence of the operator. When you put parenthesis, it gives the priority. Parenthesis priority is on top. Remember. Clear? If any operator whose priority is very less, you put parenthesis around it, so it will become at the top. It means first of all that operation will be executed, and then the rest of calculation will be performed. Clear? Yeah, these are the mathematical rules. Might be you have studied that as well. First of all, the priority is
Multiply.
parenthesis, then multiply, then divide, then plus minus, and then so on. Clear? So if you want to give priority to plus, as you seen that above, first of all the multiplication was performed, 12 multiplied by salary, and then 100 was plus. Why? Because multiply has a high priority. It is calculated first, then the 100 is added. Now when I put a parenthesis around the salary plus 100, so first of all the plus is performed, and then the multiply operation is performed, because the parenthesis is the most powerful. When you put it on any of the expression, it will be executed first. We discussed about the priorities of operator, so I will execute it in the black environment as well for you guys. So I'm using one function, clear screen. So select the last name, comma, the salary, comma, salary multiply by 12 from which table? From employees, semicolon. So you will see that the calculated salary is this one. This one is the calculated salary, annual salary, salary multiplied by 12. Clear? I wrote here a wrong query inside that black environment. Now it is working because I am using it from another. So I wrote a wrong query. Select
This is what we cannot see.
last name, selecting the last name from. So I'm writing here a wrong query. Last name, comma, salary, comma, salary multiply by 12. Spelling of from is wrong. 3M. Employees. semicolon. From keyword not found where. So I'm using the edit command and it opened a window in front of me. Now you can see here, in that from is wrong. It is from the buffer of that environment. What is buffer? It is storing my queries. Clear? So I remove that 2m and I make my query right, save it, and now this time press the slash and enter. So now the right query is executed. Is it clear?